the Wildlands campaign. You guys are 2 kobolds and a lizard folk. And boy, do you stick out in civilized society. Westhead in particular is humans. Let's see. I have the percentages of the population here. Humans, elves, halflings, then, certain amount of dwarves, gnomes, half-orcs, half-elves. Scaly people don't really make that list. However, you were sent here by Stray, who is, in a sense, your employer, to find, take down, and capture a legendary creature that she says lives within the fortified city of Westhead. And she says that this is this entity that she wants you to capture. And the bounty for doing so, by the way, is 500 gold, which is quite a chunk of change.
Yeah.
So that's what she's paying for this. And this is the monster she sent you after this time, without your mentor, Vale Proudheart, because she was busy doing something else, maybe taking on some other younglings, some other new folks, is to find, knock out, and capture Nakir. Nakiir. I'll put it in chat.
Oh, that sounds fine.
Oh, man.
Now,
a normal Drider, too easy.
actually, yes.
I
Stray,
have no idea what level 5 is like.
Stray. You don't know what level 5 is like in my game.
No, at all, really.
Stray doesn't really collect normal creatures. Like
normal half drow, half spiders. Got it.
Right.
The music just...
We might need to change the music here.
This is Drider hunting music.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now.
You... Okay, so you need to track down... you need to hunt down and capture Nakir, a dark elf who is many centuries old and long ago was cursed, twisted into a horrific form, and no longer a dark elf. Apparently, there are some leads. Now, part of this job, and the way to collect a double bounty. So if you get a double bounty, that'll be 1,000 gold. Is if you can find out information for Stray's allies, which is the Calamity League. And she showed you what their token looks like. And you guys have give you a general idea of what they're all about, because I spilled the beans all about that in chat, so now you know it. This is their token. This, by the way, is original art by one of our players, M, player of Ak-Iri.
Awesome.
Yep.
She created this according to my specifications. Note the motto on the bottom. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
If we saw one in real life, is it like a coin? Is it like
it's like
frisbee?
No, it's like a large coin, like a silver dollar
Like
size.
a coaster, perhaps?
Not that big, no.
Okay. And is the middle part there like an actual gaping void, or is it like a jet stone inlay or something?
It's like a jet stone inlay, but yes, it does appear like a gaping void.
Cool.
There's a lot of symbolism in all of that.
What is symbolism?
So the lead is essentially making contact with the Calamity League, which has members or connections within the town's guard, which are called the Order of the Sacred Bull.
Did you say bull or bowl?
With the horns. B-U-L-L. That's bull, Matt. Any questions so far?
So our task is to bring this thing back dead?
No.
Or alive?
You have been given... so I'm going to
the gems. There were the
yes.
Okay.
So I'm going
we capture
create... I'm going to create cards for all of your magic items. Obviously, I haven't had the chance to do that yet. But... I don't seem to have... Alright.
Yeah, I remember the gems now. Sorry, I just
it's okay.
blanked for a second.
I don't want to take the time to set this up right now. Okay.
But we know how they work. We've used them before.
Yeah,
right?
You have some fancier gem. So you have one that's like this, and then one that's fancier. And the lesser one is just in case you find some interesting monster along the way in your travels that you can actually capture and bring back to Stray for some cash, some coin. And the other one is...
How many, squirrels did we bring back before she Stop it.
That definitely happened.
What is this thing?
So the gem can be used to kind of vacuum up imprison an unconscious creature, and to capture a more powerful one, you need a more powerful gem.
Yeah, they're Pokeballs. Got it.
It is very similar to that, yes. So, who wants to be carrying these? Or one or both? They are also used to actually communicate with Stray.
Zeklu will definitely be carrying at least one of them.
Yeah, I would probably not care who was carrying these
Taisha
things.
loves shiny bits. She's
Yeah,
definitely
there we
taking
go.
the other one.
Okay. Then each of
Zeklu
you...
will probably carry the more valuable one then.
Alright. Well, each of you right-click on one of those, and you should be able to take it into your hand. And
The hatchlings can carry the trinkets.
And that's how we track magic items in this game.
That's awesome.
I can drag it, but for some reason I can't actually take it into my hand.
You should be able to right-click it.
It says take card and flip card if I right click.
Yeah.
Do you not
So
see
take
those?
card.
Do you need to ignore that?
It's not showing me anything now. Yes.
Huh.
Right there.
Oh.
Oh no, is Matt on your left side, Lindsay?
Yes.
Oh. So that's actually another set of couples who are on the wrong side of themselves, and you can't fix it once you've logged in a certain order. Or if you do fix it, it breaks everything.
Sorry about that.
It's just funny. It's just visually confusing or whatever. Disorienting. Okay. Okay, so
did she have any? I missed a little bit because I went over to fix Lindsay's problems.
yeah.
Did she have any idea where, in the walls between within the walls of the city there is a Drider? Any more to go on than that?
So she said, yes. Your lead is the contacts in the city guard who were what's the word I'm looking for? Implanted.
Embedded.
Thank you. Embedded agents of the Calamity League will be able to give you more information. Because she knows that you guys aren't top-notch investigators. But the thing is...
Zeklu can find.
This is...
Actually, Zeklu is really good at finding Driders.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we start digging a hole in the middle of Main Street.
The idea is, rather than, and I mean, maybe this tells you something about Stray. Also. Okay, she goes around in her flying ship and lands in big cities, but she... this is exactly how she would think to do this and not send like a group of bards who would be able to navigate the city perfectly. You get what I'm saying? So this tells you a little something about Stray, even though we're not...
Send the group that's going to go right into the sewers immediately.
Exactly. This is an Underdark creature. And, with its curse, it's even more so. So it's you seem like the Scaly Squad seems like the perfect group for this for her. Plus,
yes, scales are highly resistant.
If you can find information about the disappearance of the Great Bards, That's a double bounty, right?
Does it
The-
only work in that direction? Like, if we find the information about the Great Bards, do we get anything? If we don't get the Drider?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering how much we might have to strong arm the rest of the group to go fight the Drider.
Get what you're saying. Thank you for making that a concern. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but we'll see. Okay. Any questions about any of that?
How will we know the or our contacts? I assume we don't just talk
token?
about Calamity League thing place.
People, they just walk around brandishing this token, I assume.
Well, the token is kind of the proof that someone is a member of this secretive, paranoid organization. Yeah. She
So
tells
there must be
you
some kind of preamble before that.
Yeah, she'll
The
pass
crow
along
flaps
to you
twice at morning.
who to talk to, because there's a safe house.
Oh.
Not sure. Let me check something. Okay. All right, so she tells you to go talk to the person who will be able to give you a bit of a lead within the guard is Nuala Quinzuman. She's an officer of the Order of the Sacred Bull. Female elf. Okay. We are running out of time, so how do I want to do this? Rather than have you guys do... I was going to try to do a quick encounter, but we're going to kind of narrate our way through it instead. So as our game begins, you've come to Westhead. You've established a base of operations. You had a travel budget. The gold that you're starting with is what's left over from whatever the Scaly squad spent on travel and accommodations so far. Okay?
Okay.
What do you want as your base of operations? Do you want to be at an inn? Do you want to, or a tavern? Do you want to have, like, I don't know, renting a place? Do you have...
What do you have in the way of caves?
This
Or
is a
perhaps
city.
a sewer.
So I'm assuming like inn or tavern or something like that. One that's got a lot of flesh folk about. And the other thing about it is there's lots of direct sunlight in such places with windows.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the idea of having rented some dingy, back room somewhere that you could put sheets up on the windows.
Are you guys sensitive to sunlight?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
The two kobolds are.
Yep. Disadvantage for things in direct sunlight. Yep, that face.
Okay.
The attack rolls and stuff should get mitigated by pack tactics. We get advantage for free as long as we've got an ally next to our target.
We do have flanking.
Okay,
rules in
cool.
effect.
So presumably these two lead me to some dingy hovel, and I'm like, yes, this seems very defensible.
All right, so you are renting something in like a shanty town. Well, not quite a shanty town. That's
Can we have like
a
a
bit strong,
trash
but-
lean-to against the city wall? Is that like a kind of thing we might just find?
That seems our speed and affordability.
Yeah. We'll say you're in the
Or, like, under the docks,
northwestern quarter of the city.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
We'll say you're around here.
We've got a room that faces the wall.
Mm-hmm. And you are renting from a human that is a dock worker, stevedore, and has like a shed out back
Yes.
that is not licensed or has like no amenities. It's a shed. It's a large.
Not up to fire code.
It's just literally a tool shed.
It's literally like a large-ish shed. And when I say large shed, that
Perfect.
means small room.
Thank you, man thing. Your shed places. Nice.
Yes.
Nevertheless, since you are what you are, and this kind of a place is the kind of place that it is, he is charging you a silver piece each per day to live there, which is, even you guys with your limited understanding of such things, that's astronomical for what it is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think we're probably used to this kind of treatment at this point.
You know, most humans would probably pay like a copper a week to live in this. But he's charging you guys a silver a day. And keeps telling you not to eat his cat. Like, constantly, every time you meet. Don't eat my cat. Don't eat my mittens. There's the cat right on cue. I was like, what is this game you're playing, human? What are you talking about?
Fantastic.
That was the perfect timing. Okay.
She's done that a bunch of times. I don't know if you guys haven't been seeing it, but she's been sitting here for a while.
Well, that time I noticed. Okay. So, you made contact with Nuala. And she told you that after you got through the initial, like, what are you doing here? You scaly creatures. How are you connected to this at all? I'm going to say that you guys have a token. So somebody right-click that. Who got it? Why don't Frasher, you take it?
What am I taking?
Right-click the
Okay.
token. And
Okay, that's about it's probably of the things we were presented with, this probably seemed the most important to me.
yeah, take card. All right. And you have the token. You can kind of tell that there's like a magical interaction with another token, proves that it's legitimate. And what else? So Nuala Quinzuman tells you guys that there is definitely something bad going on, and there is a gang. There is a gang that has sprung up She doesn't know who they're working for, but they seem to have some kind of backing. Because there are guards. This is important. There are guards within the Order of the Sacred Bull who always seem to trip and fall or be called away urgently from their posts whenever this particular gang is up to something. And she believes they are somehow connected to the great bards, and they are certainly connected to your Drider. They are led by a drow. A drow who has a large supply of poison. So, you begin tracking Gordros the Phantom. Going back to your shed in the mornings, and coming out at night to try and follow the movements of Gordros the Phantom. Who seems to be the drow leader of this gang. And
does the gang have a name, or are they just the gang?
He calls them Gordros' boys.
Okay.
Or maybe the Phantom Boys, but
Ooh.
it's really more about yeah.
Or the Phantoms.
Or the Phantoms. Like they're relatively new on the scene. They've only been operating for about a month. You guys have been in West Head, we'll say a week. When you are awakened in the night by a scream. And many of the Order of the Sacred Bull guards rush toward the screaming. And from the chatter the next day, you realize that the Phantoms, led by Gordros, committed a murder, a robbery gone wrong, just a couple alleyways down. Nuala passes along some information to you about what was taken from the scene, and tells you to watch for these things at kind of a black market in the alleys. Including one of these medallions. Somehow, you're not quite sure how Nuala knows, but she says that a medallion was stolen last night. And when you guys investigate, you find this you find a lowlife, a half-elf, trying to sell some relatively nice clothing, explorer's clothing, some fancy kind of women's clothes and man's clearly stolen goods, and you catch a glimpse of the medallion. They're trying to sell it.
Like, they're trying to sell it as in they have it at their table, or they're, like, actively in the process of exchanging money for its purchase?
It's among the stolen goods that they're hawking.
Got it.
You give chase. They escape into the sewers. And such is there's a trap. There's a trick, a deadfall that blocks you from pursuing any farther into the sewers along that particular route until it can be cleared. A portcullis trap that locks you out. And none of you being particularly strong, you struggle and are unable, and you're losing time. Finally, you are forced to give up because they could be anywhere in the extensive sewers by now. Go back and talk to Nuala. Frustrating. She tells you that perhaps the survivor of the mugging gone wrong will have more information. Perhaps there's more that they know that can help you. And directs you toward the Scarlet Fork Inn and Tavern, which is a much nicer place, just off of Heaven's Plaza.
So this inn and tavern is better than a shed. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Where apparently the distraught woman was brought by the guards after the murder. And with that, I think we are going to have to call our short intro session here. Of course, I was hoping that we would be able to play all that out.
Yeah.
I had a map and whatnot ready, and I was like, we don't have time. So, hopefully that was exciting nonetheless. And we will get into the game proper in about half an hour with the rest of the crew.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
And we got all you guys set up, so we are all set up and ready to go now.
Yes.
So we can properly play. All right. Mm-hmm. Anyone watching this, that was a short intro session for the Scaly Squad, which is joining our main group. But we will be going offline now and coming back with the full game in half an hour at a usual time, but on a different day. And with that, we'll see you shortly.